Hi, Callie. It's really good to see you again. How are you doing today?
Good.
So, how are things going with your new adoptive parents?
It's going kind of great. It's kind of weird being to an adopted family right now because you're so used to being in the foster care system. But so far, everything seems to be falling okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me last week that you guys were thinking about getting a dog. Have you guys gotten your new dog yet?
No, not yet. It's kind of sticky right now because my brother is kind of allergic to animals, but it's something they're trying to look for, trying to see if they can get a different kind of pet, if anything.
Yeah, so if you can't get a dog, is there something else that you might want?
A turtle.
A turtle?
Yeah.
Do you want like a land one or the ones that swim? Because I always like watching the turtles like swimming in the aquariums.
You know, I've never thought about a swimming one, but that might be a nice one to think about.
All right, that's super cool. Well, it's really good to see you again. I'm really excited to work with you. So I just want to reiterate some things that we talked about last week. We went over confidentiality and how I have a duty to warn and report. And I just wanted to ask you if you remember what those things are and if you're still okay with that being the case here in the sessions.
Yeah, I remember. It's good.
All right, awesome. So today we're going to have a session that's probably going to go about 15 minutes long, and we're actually going to do some hands-on activities today. Does that sound okay for you?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, great. So last session we went over what I explained to you was like a biopsychosocial assessment, and so we talked, and you talked to me about your time in the foster care system, which I really appreciate you opening up to me about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this new family dynamic you have with your foster parents, and you remember I was taking all those notes and asking you questions about your health and your schooling and stuff like that. Okay, well that's going to help us today with something called an EcoMap, and so today we're going to talk about, the situation that you brought to hand with me, which is your fear about, being lonely in a new environment. You're worried that you're not, making a lot of friends, and you've expressed to me that you've been feeling a little bit alone with the adjustment, and it's just a little difficult for you. So we're going to use an EcoMap today to look at all the different systems in your life: school, church, work, siblings, future pets. We're going to look at all these things and just see kind of how they relate together so we can take a visual look at how your life looks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right. So we're going to put you in the middle. Can you tell me how to spell your name?
Callie.
All right. So we have all these different colors here today. What color would you like your circle to be? Alright, so if you want, you can go ahead and draw a circle around your name. Okay, so we're going to try a little exercise to fill this out. So, let me show you a little example of what complete EcoMap might look like. So here's me, right? And I have a family, and I have my job. I have my friends, right? And so there's me, and I'm connected to all of these things. And so sometimes my relationship with my friends is good, right? So I can put like 2 lines to show that I have a strong bond. But then maybe I had a fight with my husband last week, and so the connection's feeling a little rocky. It's looking a little rocky. And then maybe with work, let's say I got laid off, so I'm not having really good feelings about work right now either, and they're not really giving me back anything either. So I'm just going to keep that here, right? But so with my family, if I'm having an argument with my husband, though, right, I'm still giving to my family. I'm still working for them. I'm still, a mom to my children. So there's kind of like a give and take in this relationship. So we use these lines to show our connection to all the different systems. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to... All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to walk me through a day in the life of Callie. And so you're just going to walk me through, if that's okay with you, a detailed day from like when you wake up to when you go to sleep. And whenever we find, you may mention a system, we're going to put it on the EcoMap and discuss maybe the relationship you have with that. Does that sound all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so tell me how your day goes.
Okay, so I get woken up. and it's kind of already noisy in the house because of everybody that lives there already. Breakfast is kind of like traffic jam. So we all go to school. And then during school, we kind of just go through classes. I see my siblings there, like my brother, who's my biological brother, and then like the step siblings now that are in the family. My stepmother actually, or my adopted mother, she works at the school. She's a vice president, so it's kind of, I see her there as well. Sometimes it doesn't feel like there's any privacy anywhere you go because of that. But yeah, and then if usually sometimes I can be involved in certain after school activities such as any debates or if there's any projects I'm working on, because I'm a senior now, so I have a senior project I have to do. But I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm kind of in this relationship, but it's kind of rocky right now. So after school, sometimes I'll spend time with him, and if not, I'll just go home and just anything that's happening, I guess. And then it's dinner time, and we all just kind of sit down with the family, and we just talk over what's happening. So it kind of can go day by day.
All right. So far, hearing about your day, thank you for sharing, by the way. We have your family at home, right? And then you have school, where you spend most of your day. You have your family, but you also go to school with your siblings, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a different relationship entirely. And then you also have a boyfriend, mm-hmm. So you said? Okay. What's his name?
AJ.
Cool. All right. Well, so let's see here. So at school, do you see anyone other than your siblings and your boyfriend? Do you have any friends that you see?
That's a very good question. Not really. It's not like it's kind of hard trying to make friends because I don't want to get so attached to them, and mm-hmm. It's always been rocky trying to have friends. But I do have friends who were in the foster home, in the foster house that I used to be in, some of the girls that we were in. So, yeah, I don't really talk to anybody unless it's either my siblings or I need to talk to them.
Would you still consider the girls that you were in your old foster home with as friends? Is that something that
Yeah, I would, because
right.
There's some situations where I've had to help her, and so, yeah, I go to her, she comes to me.
Okay. Do you have a couple of names that we can write down? Or how would you like to label that group? Would you just like to be your friends or friends outside of school? Does that sound okay?
Yeah, or like the foster home girls.
Okay, let's do that.
Foster house. Kind of forgot.
Okay. So when you're in school, though, you are surrounded by classmates, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to add that there as well. You also mentioned school debates. Are you in a debate club?
No, it's just kind of, yeah, you could just put that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. Look at that. So you have a lot of systems right now that you've mentioned just going through a normal day of your life. Mm-hmm. Going to school on a regular basis. So, I'm going to write you some possible ways to represent relationships. Mm-hmm. So like we said before, you can do a double line for a strong relationship, a single line for a good relationship, maybe like a squiggly line to represent like a broken relationship. And then there's also the functions of the relationship. So is it one way or is it two ways? So how about we start filling this out? Grab some markers and start, assigning colors and relationships, and then we can talk about them as we go along. Does that sound okay?
Sure.
All right.
Just go with neutral color. So at school, I guess. This is kind of, I feel like it's more of a one way since he's sometimes can be difficult, and I guess it's quickly because of the situation.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Can you tell me a little bit about this relationship you have?
So he just it's so hard because it's like everywhere. He was kind of in the foster system, but that's not where I met him. It was more of meeting him. So one of my step brothers has one of the adopted brother has a biological father, but now his parents are split up, so it's more of he's a cop. So I'll just go by that. That's kind of easier to refer him to as so. He just formally adopted him, and he was in that foster system as well. So that's kind of where I met him. And right now it's kind of rocky because he's going through something, and I guess I'm always going through something with like the foster care system. I'm always trying to either protest to the school because of how everything is done, or like just certain situations. So right now it's kind of conflicting the relationship.
So would you say that the both of you guys are just going through a lot of changes right now, and you just don't really seem to be able to be on the same footing right now?
Yes, a lot. It's kind of going rocky both ways.
Yeah, that can be a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at school.
I guess school right now is going okay. So I would say, is that okay for neutral?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. I would say just school gives more into me. I mean, you just go to school and that's about it.
Yeah. What about the other systems we talked about?
I would say this one was definitely very strong. I know it's like I can relate to them the most because they know what's going on in the foster care system. They kind of know how it's run. I know she's been in like one of the girls that I really still talk to. She's been in a situation. Seems kind of illegal, but I have to be there for her. I have to help her, especially because I've been in her shoes. We've been in the same place, so I would say that's very strong. And I guess you can say it goes both ways.
Good. It's great that you have that strong support, especially because you've mentioned to me that you have been feeling a bit lonely in this new transition. So let's look at your family real quick.
Okay, so I guess right now we could say it's strong.
Good.
They've given it a lot into me right now with, adopting. They're very lenient, very
understanding.
Very understanding with the situation.
Yeah. Well, we are wrapping up right now. We're about to run out of time. However, I do want you to take a look at this EcoMap. I'm really, really excited that we've started this, and we'll definitely continue this. I can already see that, you do have quite a bit of support in your life, and that you do have people to lean on and to go to when you are possibly feeling lonely or overwhelmed with everything that's going on. There is a, rocky relationship that you're struggling with right now, but I think that your perspective on it is a very mature outlook, and from what I've been able to pick up, you and your boyfriend are trying to work things out, if because this is something that, you're interested in and that's important to you. And so I just wanted to ask you real quick, how do you think maybe looking at all the things in your life, did that help? Did you find that helpful? Did the EcoMap, as a visual help you out a little bit?
Yeah, it did kind of make me realize different people and different categories that I am kind of surrounded by, and like how it affects me and how I affect it. So yeah, it's a very helpful visual.
Good. Well, I just want to thank you so much for opening up to me again and allowing me to help you help yourself and trying to figure out how to master this new family dynamic and becoming comfortable in your new home. So I'm going to, if it's okay with you, I'm going to keep this so that way we can come back to this next week and we can look into, more of the other systems in your life, so that way maybe we can come up with some actual action plans to help you, become more social and feel less lonely in your home. And if you go to the receptionist desk and reschedule an appointment for next week, that'd be really great, and I hope you have a nice day.
Thank you.